Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to add Klaviyo subscriber in different lists based on WooCommerce product order. So I am selling different digital courses with the help of WooCommerce, and my objective is that whenever a customer is going to make the purchase of those courses, then I want to add that same customer in my email marketing platform in a particular list, that too in Klaviyo. So how we are going to automate this entire process? Now here my objective is to add different customers based on the product which they have purchased in different list of my email marketing application. To automate this entire process, I'm going to set up a connection between WooCommerce and Klaviyo, that too without the requirement of any coding and programming skills. So if you also want to learn this amazing automation step by step, for that you have to come towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. So in this video I'm going to show you step by step that how we can add WooCommerce customers into different segments, into different lists of a Klaviyo account. So I am selling different digital courses with the help of WooCommerce, which is an amazing e-commerce store, and I want that according to the purchase which is made by the customer of different courses, I want to add these customers in my email marketing list which I have created with the help of Klaviyo. I have created two separate lists for each of the courses. So here I am selling two courses, Java course for beginners and Python course. In the similar manner, for both of these courses I have created two separate lists inside Klaviyo. So I want that as soon as a customer is going to make the purchase of these courses, then according to the course which he has purchased, the person should be added in my email marketing list. If he has made the purchase for Java course for beginners, so that customer should be added in Klaviyo inside this Java course for beginner list, and in case if he have purchased Python course, then it should be added in the Python course list. Okay, so how we are going to automate this entire process? For this we have to set up the connection between WooCommerce and Klaviyo, and that we are going to do without the requirement of any coding and programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Let's get started. So this is the home page of Pabbly Connect, where we can reach by tapping the URL pabbly.com/connect in our browser. After coming over here, you can find that we have two options over here, sign in and sign up for free. In case if you are already an existing user, so you can directly click on sign in. But if you are a new user, you have to click on this sign up for free button, which is going to create your free new account just in 2 minutes. Also, when you will do that, you will get 100 free tasks every month to explore this amazing software and to test multiple automations. Now, because I am already an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in over here. This is all app section where we can find all the products which are offered by Pabbly. To create this automation, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. So let's click on access now. It has taken us towards the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. So on this dashboard, we can find all our workflows which we have created, and we can also create different folders over here to save our workflows separately and accordingly. To create a new workflow, we have to click on this create workflow option. Let's do that. And here a dialog box is appeared in front of us. It is asking us to provide a name to this workflow. So I'm going to first of all provide a name over here. Add Klaviyo subscriber in different lists on the basis of WooCommerce product order. Okay, so here I have given the name to my workflow according to the purpose for which I am creating it. And now I'm going to select a particular folder in which I want to save my workflow. So you can see I have a list of folders over here. I'm going to select automations for e-commerce store over here as the folder. And now I will click on create. As we've done that, here we can see that two windows are open in front of us and a workflow is created. This is a blank workflow. Over here, trigger and actions are the two main concepts, the principles or the building blocks on which the entire automation of Pabbly Connect works. Here the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. That means the action is the response towards our trigger. So whatever we are going to select in our trigger is going to command the entire workflow, and the actions are going to follow that same command. Therefore, we can have only one trigger in any workflow, but we can add as many action steps as we want. Let's suppose here my objective is that whenever the order will be placed inside WooCommerce shop, inside my WooCommerce store, then the response should be captured, and on the basis of the purchase the customer has made, the customer should be added in my email marketing list inside Klaviyo. So here I'm going to take WooCommerce in my trigger and let's say Klaviyo in my action step. Now when we are going to set up the connection between these two applications, we are going to see that action is going to follow what the trigger commands, because when the trigger happens, that means when the order is placed inside WooCommerce, then only the customer is added as a subscriber inside Klaviyo, otherwise not. So after understanding the whole concept of trigger and action, let us quickly start creating the workflow step by step. First of all, to start the workflow, we have to go towards our trigger step, and here our trigger application will be WooCommerce. So let's simply select that. Now, after selecting the application, we have to select the trigger event, and here you can see we have multiple trigger events. Basically, trigger event is the event on the happening of which the workflow is going to trigger or it is going to start. So whatever event you want, you have to select that. I want that whenever a new order will be created inside WooCommerce, the response should be immediately captured. So when our order will be placed, then we are going to receive the response, and with that response, the workflow is going to trigger instantly. Alright, so here when we have selected the trigger event, we have received one webhook URL, and here we have also received some instructions. So basically we have to follow all these instructions in order to set up the connection between WooCommerce and Pabbly Connect, and the URL which is given over here is going to act as a bridge, because it is going to transfer the data whenever a new order will be created inside WooCommerce towards Pabbly Connect. So let's simply copy this webhook URL, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what we are supposed to do. So after copying this webhook URL, I'm going to take you towards my WooCommerce store, and here, as you know, WooCommerce is the plugin of WordPress. So this is my WordPress site. From the left side, here is the option of WooCommerce. Under WooCommerce, we have multiple options, so we have to select settings. Now after coming on settings, here we can see the option of advanced, so we have to select that. Then here we have to scroll down, and we will see the option of webhooks. So we have to select webhook option because we want to set up the connection with the help of webhooks. And now here you can see that multiple webhooks are created. So I'm going to create a new webhook over here by clicking on this add webhook button. And here, in order to create a new webhook, we have to first of all give a name to our webhook. So let's say the name of our webhook is course purchase. Okay, just a random name according to the requirement. And here I'm going to select the status of the webhook as active. Then here is the very important thing that we have to select the topic. Topic is the event on the happening of which we want to capture the response. So here simply our topic will be order created, because we want that whenever a new order will be created inside WooCommerce, then we want to capture the response. Now here we have to enter the delivery URL, that means the URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. So here I will simply paste that URL. Then here the secret is optional, and we have to select the API version, that will be the latest one, v3. Then we have to click on save webhook. And you can see that our connection is built, as here our webhook is updated successfully. And over here, when we will come back towards Pabbly Connect after setting the webhook, you can see that here we have already received a test response. Test response is the webhook ID. This means that our connection is made successfully. So now we are going to click on recapture webhook response button to capture the actual response. And how we are going to get that? By making a test submission and placing the order inside our WooCommerce store. So these are the products I have in my WooCommerce store, and let's say I'm going to make the purchase for this Python course. Okay, so I'm going to click on view option to view in the store, and here I'm going to make a purchase of this Python course as a test submission for capturing the response inside Pabbly Connect, so that we can move further in our workflow. So I'm going to click on add to cart, and here I will simply click on proceed to checkout. Now as we have done that, here I'm going to enter the details in order to make the payment, and let's say the name of the customer over here is current47 and the last name is customer. The company name is optional, so I'm going to ignore this field for now, and here are all of the details which I've entered. You can see that this is the email address of the customer, current49@pabblytudes.com. Here is the phone number and all of the details. So when we are going to click on place order, because the method over here is cash on delivery, so the order is placed successfully. Now as the order is being placed, so we'll go back towards Pabbly Connect, and here we will wait for the response of the new order for the few seconds. And here you can see that we have captured the response. So in this response, you can see that when we'll scroll down, here are all the details related to the customer, the same details which we have entered while placing the order. Here is the email address, the same email address, the phone number, the first name, last name, country code, state, all right, the payment which he has to made, and here's the product which he has purchased. Okay, so this means that our connection between WooCommerce and Pabbly Connect is absolutely successful. So now whenever a new order will be placed inside WooCommerce, then immediately the response of that order will be placed inside Pabbly Connect as well. So now when we'll move forward, our objective is to add the customer who has made the payment inside Klaviyo, which is email marketing application, in a particular list. So because the customer has made the order for Python course, I want to add this customer in Python course list. But if the customer is going to place the order for Java course, then in that case I want to add that customer inside Java course for beginner list. So how we are going to customize this process according to the list? For that we have to use router in our workflow. Router is an inbuilt feature of Pabbly which helps us to create different routes in the workflow for following the different conditions. So here we have our action step. In our action application, we have to select router, and you have to keep in mind router is the very last step of your workflow. We cannot add any further steps after router. If you want to further continue your workflow, you have to simply follow your steps in these routes only, which we are going to create over here. So now we have to select our action event that will be conditionally run. Let's click on connect, and here it has given us two default routes. So now we are going to get into first route. So let's click on this set filter and action steps. And here we have to set up a condition, a filter condition, that on the fulfillment of which condition we want the workflow to run through this particular route. I want that whenever the WooCommerce order will be placed, and if the order will be placed for the Python course, then the workflow should follow this particular route one. In order to follow that condition in the workflow, we have to set a filter that is related to label, filter type and value. So first of all, we need to select our label. Here, this is our previous response, and here I'm going to search for the item which is being purchased. Python course, this is the line item name. So the line item which is purchased is Python course. When I'm going to select that, the label is mapped over here. So as you know, we have selected the label with the help of our previous response. That means we have mapped the label. So now when we have mapped this data, it has become dynamic. So with each and every new response, it is going to replace automatically. So now whenever a new order will be placed inside WooCommerce for any of the product, the label over here is going to replace. And when we are going to further continue the filter type, and when we are going to select our filter value, if the label will not match that value, then the workflow is going to stop over here. Here my filter type will be equal to, and the value will be Python course. So here, because I have entered this value manually, so it will be static. That means it is not going to replace. So now whenever the label will be changed, and if it will not be equal to the value which we have entered over here, then the workflow is going to stop and it is not going to continue. After entering the filter condition, when we are going to click on save and send test request button, you can see that here our condition is true. Why? Because currently the label is equal to the value. So because the order is placed for the Python course, so here the condition is true. Now what we have to do, because our condition is true, our objective is to add this particular subscriber inside Klaviyo. So to add the subscriber in a particular list, first of all, we have to add the subscriber inside Klaviyo. So what we are going to do, first of all, we are going to create a subscriber, and then we are going to add that subscriber in the list. So for that, we have to set up the connection between Klaviyo and Pabbly Connect. So let's click on this add action step button. And here our action application will be Klaviyo. Let's select that. Now we have to select the action event that will be create profile. That means to create a subscriber. Let's click on connect. And here to build the connection, I'm already logged into my Klaviyo account, you can see. So I'm going to go with add new connection, and we will click on connect with Klaviyo V2. Okay, we have selected the revision, and here I'm going to click on save. As we have done that, you can see that Pabbly Connect is asking us for the permission to access our Klaviyo account. We'll click on continue. Here the account is already selected. I'm going to select it, and now I will simply click on allow. And Klaviyo is successfully connected with Pabbly Connect. So we will move forward. Now we have to enter the details in these fields to create a new subscriber. So first of all, it is asking us for the email address. What is the email address of the subscriber? We have to create the subscriber from the response which we have received from WooCommerce order. So all the details of the subscriber will be same as the customer. So here what we will do, we will simply map the customer email address. This is our WooCommerce response. When we are going to search for the email over here, you can see that it has redirected us towards the email. So I will simply map the email. Okay, so as I told you, when we map a data, it becomes dynamic. So when we have mapped this email address, it is also going to replace with each and every new response automatically. Alright, in this way, we are going to automate the entire process of creating subscribers inside Klaviyo whenever the WooCommerce order will be placed and when the condition will be fulfilled. Now here we have to map the phone number. So in the similar manner, here I'm going to search for phone, and this is the phone number of the customer. Then we have the external ID, which is not mandatory. So I'm going to ignore this field. The first name is current47, and here we have the last name, so let's map that as well. Customer, then we have the organization, this is not mandatory. Title, image, some of the details are optional, so we can ignore these fields. Okay, now I'm going to map the address which we have received. So 367 comma New Street is the address. We have not received the address for the second line, so I'm going to ignore this field for now. We have also received the city, Indore, country, longitude, region, etc. I'm going to map the zip code over here and done. Alright, now when I'm going to click on save and send test request button, here we have received the response, and here in this response we have received the data ID. That means the subscriber is successfully added in our Klaviyo account. So I'm going to take you towards Klaviyo. Here we'll go towards the audience section. We'll go towards the profiles, that means a subscriber, and yes, here you can see that a latest subscriber is recently added. You can see just now, and here is the same, and here are the same details of that subscriber, current49@pabblytudes.com, and this is the name. So now we want to add the same subscriber into a list, and which list we want to add? Python course. So I'm going to go back. You can see that this is the list in which I want to add the subscriber. So I'm going to click on this add action step button. Once again, we are going to set up the connection between Klaviyo and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to select Klaviyo as our action application, and here our action application will be add profiles to list. we'll click on connect and we'll go with the existing connection only, as we have already built the connection earlier. Now we'll select the list ID. So what is the list ID? List ID is the name of the list in which you want to create the subscriber. So in this particular route, because I want to create the subscriber in this Python course list, so I'm going to select the same Python course list over here. Then we have to enter the profile ID, that means the subscriber ID. So when we have created the subscriber earlier, in our earlier step, we have already received the data ID, that is the same as profile ID. So we'll simply map that ID over here. In order to map this ID, we have to turn this mapping button on, and here we will simply map the ID from our create profile response. This is the data ID. I have selected that, and the ID is mapped. So it is also going to replace with each and every new response now. When we are going to click on save and send test request button, you can see that here we have received the response. So we'll go back towards Klaviyo, and here I'm going to open my Python course list. And you can see that yes, subscriber is successfully added to our list Python course. Here you can see that the details of the subscriber are added. This means that our connection is absolutely successful up till now. In the similar manner, now I want to move towards the route 2 as well, that when the customer is going to purchase Java course for beginners from my WooCommerce store, then I want to add that subscriber as well in a particular separate list. So for that, we'll move towards our second route. Let's click on this set filter and action steps. And here, because currently we have received the response for the Python course, because the order is being placed for Python course. So before moving towards this route, what we have to do, we have to recapture the response from webhook. So here I'm going to click on recapture webhook response, and it is now showing waiting for webhook response. So once again, I'm going to go back towards my WooCommerce store, and I'm going to purchase this particular Java course for beginners. So I'm going to click on add to cart, and here I'm going to continue, and here I'm going to proceed to checkout for placing this order. And this time I'm going to use all the dummy details. Once again, all new details. Let's say this time the name of the customer is best customer, and let's say the company name is blank. Here all the details are selected, so I'm going to change the street address. Let's say 117 New Street. In the place of city, I'm going to select Bhopal. This time the state is already selected, and here I'm going to change the pin code and the phone number as well, and the email address best56@pabblytudes.com. Now I will simply click on place order to place this another order inside WooCommerce. This time the order is placed for Java course for beginners. You can see over here. Now as we have placed the order, so let's go and check whether we have received the response this time for WooCommerce order inside Pabbly Connect or not. Here you can see that we have received the response. Once again, when we'll scroll down, here are all the details. This time the product purchases Java course for beginners. So when we have received this response, we'll go back towards the second route which we were setting up. So we'll go back towards set filter and action steps. Once again, here I'm going to map the details, and this time the value over here will be Java course for beginners. So here I've mapped the label, the filter type is equal to, and the value over here is Java course for beginners. In this way, we are going to set the route, that in the case when the purchase is made for the Java course for beginners, so the second route should be followed. When we are going to click on save and send test request button, you can see that our condition is true. Now our objective is to first of all create this new customer inside Klaviyo as a subscriber. So let's click on this add action step button. Here once again, we are going to search Klaviyo as our action application, and we will select that. Now we have to select the action event, that will be create profile. Let's click on connect. As we have already built the connection earlier in the first route, so we'll go with the existing connection only. Quickly, I'm going to map all these details such as email address of the customer. Here we have the phone number of the customer. All right, first name, last name, and here I'm going to map the address, city, and the zip code. Okay. Alright, after doing this, we'll simply click on save and send test request button. And as the subscriber is created, and here we have received the subscriber ID, so I'm going to take you towards Klaviyo once again. We'll go back towards the audience section, and we'll go towards profiles. And here you can see that the subscriber is just now added. The same details are here. So now we are going to add the subscriber into a specific list, and the list is Java course for beginners. So I want to add my subscriber who has made the purchase for the course Java. So I want to add that subscriber inside this Java course for beginner list, as I told you. So for this, we have to set up the connection once again between Klaviyo and Pabbly Connect. Here we are going to search for Klaviyo once again, and we are going to select the action event this time as add profiles to list. Let's click on connect. Let's select existing connection only. And here I'm going to simply select the list ID this time as Java course for beginners, and for the profile ID I'm going to turn this mapping button on, and you will simply map the profile ID which we have received. Okay, let's click on save and send test request button, and here our response is received. So let's go and check. This is my list. I'm going to open the list once, And you can see that yes, best customer is immediately and automatically added in our list Java course for beginners. So once we have set up this connection, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rename these routes. So first of all, I'm going to rename the first route, which is for Python course. After that, I'm going to rename my second route, that is for Java course for beginners. Okay, so both of the routes are set. First is Python course and the second is for Java course for beginners. All right, and once we have set up this connection successfully, so this means that our workflow is ready. Now, whenever the order will be placed inside WooCommerce for each of the course, then immediately according to the course, the route is going to be followed, and according to the course which is being purchased, the subscriber will be added inside Klaviyo and will be added inside a particular list based on the course which he has purchased. Okay. Once we have set up this connection successfully, I'm going to run this workflow in real. So I'm going to go back towards my WooCommerce store. And here I'm going to once again make a purchase for, let's say, Java course for beginners. Okay, and we will see that when we are going to make the purchase over here with another details, the new subscriber who is purchasing this particular course will be similarly added into the particular list inside Klaviyo. The list is Java course for beginners. So here I'm going to click on proceed to checkout quickly, and I'm going to enter all the new details. Let's say this time the first name of the customer is new test customer. Okay, and here I'm going to select new address, new 717 new line. Here are all the details. I'm going to enter a different phone number. Okay, and a new email address, new test3@pabblytudes.com. I will simply click on place order, and as the order is placed, let's go towards Klaviyo and we will see whether in our list Java course for beginners this particular customer is added or not as a subscriber. And yes, you can see that here a new subscriber is added in our list. This means that our connection is absolutely successful and our workflow is also running fine. So let's quickly summarize what we have done over here. We have set up a connection between WooCommerce and Klaviyo in such a way that whenever on the basis of the purchase which is made inside WooCommerce, the subscribers will be added inside Klaviyo in different segments in different lists. Okay, so I hope this video is helpful for you and it is clear to you. I'm definitely going to attach the link of this workflow inside the description of the video for your reference so you can check. Thank you for watching. Not only these applications, but you can integrate multiple such applications without any coding or programming skills with the help of Pabbly Connect. Now, if you have any doubt, you can reach out to us at support@pabbly.com. If you want to ask any query, you can reach out to us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, you can reach out to the website given over here. Now, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to share it with your friends, and also please like our video and subscribe our channel for more such amazing automations.